Take your seats, please. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me start the 2021 academic year ceremony at the Łódź University of Technology. Safety is our priority, and that is why today there are fewer people in the auditorium than usual. However, I hope there is a much bigger group of viewers that is experiencing this joyful moment with us in front of their computer screens, because we have the live streaming. Thank you very much for understanding, and I'm sorry you cannot be here with us. This is also inauguration of the new university authorities for the term 2020-2024. The symbolic handing over of the rector's insignia by the outgoing rector has become a tradition at our university. I would like to give the floor to my great predecessor, Professor Sławomir Wiak. Please say a few words about your term in office and share information with us. This is going to be the comment on what happened within 4 years. Thank you.
Your Magnificence, thank you very much. Magnificence Director, the High Senate, distinguished guests, the year 2020 will always be remembered in the history of our alma mater. Unfortunately, the plans to celebrate the jubilee of the 75th anniversary of the Łódź University of Technology had to be changed due to epidemiological situation in the world. This has been a huge challenge to all of us. However, we have managed to elect new authorities of our university. I would like to congratulate Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik on his fantastic winning result and commencing the term of office of the rector of the Łódź University of Technology during the term 2020-24. At the same time, I would like to stress the maturity of our alma mater, our consistencies. We were really agreeing who should have been elected. Also, I would like to thank you for the honor of managing our alma mater for the past 4 years. Let us watch a short video which sums up the term of my office. I would like to thank the department that helps to promote the Łódź University of Technology greatly. It is managed by Ania Boczkowska, and I would also like to say thank you to the Multimedia Center of our university.
Mamy rektora elekta.
We have elected the rector. Ladies and gentlemen, I am moved and grateful for entrusting me with this exceptional mission. I did my best to meet challenges we had faced. It was possible due to cooperation with the team of very special people. It is not possible to mention all of them. However, I would like to remind some names of the colleagues with whom I had the closest cooperation. I would like to thank Vice Rectors Professor Ireneusz Biciński, Dariusz Gawin, Witold Pawłowski, Grzegorz Bąk, and Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik, who has managed the anti-crisis staff too. I would also like to thank the Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Jadwiga Machnicka, the Quaestor, Mrs. Agnieszka Kowalczyk, Chancellor, Mr. Włodzimierz Pisiak, and Director of the campus, Mrs. Janina Mrozowska. I would like to thank warmly Deans Colleges and heads of the university units. I would like to extend my gratitude to personnel of the University IT Center and the Center for International Cooperation, all Rector and Chancellor's offices, and all members of the Łódź University of Technology academic community. A personal element, I would like to extend special words of gratitude to my wife, Krystyna, who has always been my support and inspiration. Thank you for being for me. Thank you for understanding and patience. I feel deeply satisfied as on the day of completion of my term of office, I can say that the plans and goals adopted at the time when I became the rector of Łódź University of Technology in 2016 were successfully delivered. I would like to point some of the most important ones. During the past 4 years, we have had many reasons to be happy. To give an example, 8 out of 9 of our faculties received A category in the field of research activity. Talking about our successes, I have to mention the inclusion of the International Center for Research and Innovative Bio-Based Materials International Research Agenda in our university. It has been established in cooperation with the German Max Planck Institute for Polymer Research in Mainz. We are happy that the prestige of our alma mater is growing. It is reflected in higher positions in the latest rankings and listings of universities. We are ranked as the 4th top highest schools of technology in Poland and the 8th among academic universities according to the ranking by Perspektywy. I was very happy to hear that the Łódź University of Technology has been ranked as the 6th in the NG rank. It is also listed in the Times Higher Education World University ranking. We have been classified for the first time in the World University rankings. Our language center has received accreditation of Equals Association. I have started preparatory work to receive US accreditation of the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. Studies submitted for the EuroAC label have received the European certificate. We are in the extra league of 21 top universities in Poland, which have been invited to take part in the competition titled Initiative of Excellence Research University. As a result, we have obtained additional funding for our scientific goals. I know my great predecessor, Professor Jóźwik, and I think that his ambition, he has really expressed it clearly, his ambition will be to join the first 10 universities. Ladies and gentlemen, our school is a forerunner of solutions and a desirable partner to implement strategic projects such as introduction of the 5th generation technology in Łódź. Thanks to our determination in the campus in our university, 5G Research Network operates here. This project received funds from the Ministry of Development and was implemented under a Digital Innovation Hub 5G Consortium composed of the National Institute of Telecommunications, which is the State Research Institute, and acted as the leader, Łódź University of Technology, Ericsson, and Funding Box. We have also established a new unit in our school, that is the Łódź University of Technology 5G Competence Center. The Made in Poland 2020 award for the significant impact on development of the national economy through collaboration of the university with enterprises and territorial governments, as well as promotion of Poland's high schools, is the best best indicator of good cooperation of our university with the partners. We will receive this award on the 23rd of November during the Congress in Kraków. The Łódź University of Technology brand is known and valued worldwide. To facilitate our activity on the global arena, I have developed the Center for International Cooperation. This entity's task is to include the university in the process of development of the European higher education and enhancing international prestige, as well as supporting internationalization of our university. Our campus is developing impressively. At the beginning of the term, I was honored to open the University Sports and Education Center, the Bay of Sports. It was the biggest investment in the history of Łódź University of Technology, initiated by my predecessor, Professor Bielecki. Thanks to this facility, academic sport has developed in Łódź. The Bay became the arena of the World and European academic championships in different disciplines. Being the owner of such infrastructure, we were able to apply to organize the European University Sports Association Games. I will be strongly supporting the players and His Magnificence. I have invented a title I would like to award to Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik. So His Magnificence will be the captain of this event. Leaving the rector's office, I feel deeply satisfied with the completion of the first stage of the Alchemium, the magic of chemistry of tomorrow investment. His Magnificence Director Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik will have the honor to give this facility to the academic community. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that I'm completing the term of office at the time when the university is in a very good condition. In the context of the strategy of development, the school has taken the right direction. I'm convinced that the new captain will continue to support the university's development and projects that I have initiated. These 4 years were very special to me, both in terms of being the organizer of the university life and a scientist. I was honored to receive the highest academic degree, that is the title of Doctor Honoris Causa twice. I feel deeply satisfied and grateful for this to my alma mater, beloved alma mater. I have the feeling that all my personal meetings and established contacts have translated into benefits for our alma mater. Thank you for being with me. Ladies and gentlemen, each university creates its tradition. I would like to say again, my great successor, he has already mentioned it, the tradition, the academic, the university tradition has been already mentioned. Symbols are important in activities, in the operations of each state, every organization, in this case, of our alma mater. That is why now I will symbolically hand over the Rector's Authority insignia to His Magnificence Director Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik. Please all rise. At the same time, I would like to wish him good luck in accomplishing plans and satisfaction with activities he will undertake. I also declare that I will support him with my experience. Magnificence, please accept this chain and scepter as a proof of authority, majesty and dignity of the rector of our beloved university.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen,
drogi Panie Rektorze,
dear Rector,
wspomniał Pan o tradycji.
you've mentioned the tradition and that I've mentioned it. I believe that the development of our university can continue when we trust and respect this tradition, when we respect our masters. Dear Professor, thank you for all your work for the benefit of the Łódź University of Technology, especially for the last several years when you devoted yourselves to the university. On behalf of myself and the entire community, let me extend my gratitude to you and Krystyna, your spouse, who has been the pillar that ensured your work. Thank you very much.
Panie Rektorze, obdarzył mnie Pan zaszczytem
It's my honor and pleasure to become one of your associates.
Pan również
You have also entrusted me
tę trudną, ale
with this
niezwykle edukacyjną
difficult
funkcję
and
kierowania
very
szkoleniami
important
kryzysowymi.
role of leading the crisis management team.
Dziękuję
Thank you
panu
very
również za
much.
to,
I'd like to
że
thank
oddaje pan w
you
moje ręce uczelnię w tak
for
dobrej
passing
kondycji.
to me the university in such a good shape, the school which is renowned in Poland and is gaining recognition worldwide. Thank you very much.
Powiedzieć tak. Chyba wiedziałem, co robię. ale na
Let
pewno
me
wiedziałem.
say, I
Dziękuję
knew
bardzo.
what I was doing. Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Bardzo proszę o zajęcie miejsc.
Please take your seats.
Szanowni Państwo, w imieniu
Ladies
Senatu i całej
and gentlemen,
społeczności
on behalf of the
akademickiej,
Senate
politechniki, ludzkiej,
and the
serdecznie
community
witam
of
wszystkich
the
państwa łączących się z nami
Łódź
podczas
University of Technology, let me welcome everyone who is watching us using the computer screen.
Witam
I would also like to welcome the heads of our province and city, representatives of the regional governments, Mr. Tobiasz Bocheński, who is the governor of Łódzkie, Mr. Grzegorz Scheiber, who is the marshal of Łódzkie province, and Hanna Zdanowska, who is the mayor of the city of Łódź, and the other heads of cities, districts, municipalities, parishes, and councillors of the city of Łódź, who cooperate with us on daily basis.
serdecznie pragnę powitać Jego Ekscelencję
I would also like to welcome cordially His Excellency Archbishop Grzegorz Rycz, the Metropolitan Archbishop of Łódź, and other representatives of clergy. When we were celebrating, starting the anniversary of establishing the Metropolitan of Łódź within the structure of the Catholic Poland, I would like to welcome other representatives of clergy, including academic priests. I would like to welcome representatives of the diplomatic and consular corps, representatives of state institutions, courts, presidents, and directors of companies that cooperate with our school on a daily basis. I would also like to welcome representatives of the scientific circles. Warm welcome to magnificences of Polish schools, in particular our friends representing the Conference of Rectors of the Polish Universities of Technologies. I hope that our joint initiatives will contribute to maintaining high standards of education and accomplishing special scientific successes. I am very honored to welcome representatives of foreign universities. Our cooperation continuously inspires Łódź University of Technology to develop. I would like to welcome representatives of scientific institutions, Rector Professor Teresa Rządzińska, who is the rector of the University of Łódź. I would like to welcome the rector, Professor Radzisław Kortek, who is the rector of the Medical University, rector Professor Elżbieta Aleksandrowicz, the rector of the Academy of Music, Director Professor Milena Fidler, Director of the University of Film, Priest Sławomir Sosnowski, who is Director of the School of Clergy, and the Rector of the Academy of Fine Arts. Magnificences, I would like to congratulate for you to being elected as rectors, and hopefully we'll be able to continue the cooperation for the benefit of our regions. I would like to welcome representatives of other scientific institutions such as Polish Academy of Sciences, National Center of Science, and National Center for Research and Development. Warm words go to the former rectors of the university, Professor Jan Krysiński and Professor Stanisław Bielecki. I would like to welcome again Professor Sławomir Wiak and his wife, Krystyna Klimaszewska-Wiak. Warm welcome goes to the members of the council of our university. I would like to welcome President Dariusz Szewczyk, who is the head of our council. He's also the head of the Polish Council. I hope that Dr. Honoris Causa of the Łódź University of Technology are with us online today. I would like to welcome you cordially. I would also like to welcome and thank Professor Jacek Moll,
przybyłego na naszą
who has
uroczystość
joined us today with his wife, Professor Jadwiga Moll. Professor has agreed upon my request to deliver the opening lecture today. It's not incidental that Professor has completed our Faculty of Engineering. He's also a physician, and he will tell us about technology in the world of medicine. I would like to welcome personnel of our university, students and participants who watch this ceremony via live streaming on our university's website. I would like to welcome the students who, as of tomorrow, will start their education. This is a very special year, very difficult year. So welcome very warmly. I wish you good luck.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen,
podczas inauguracji roku akademickiego przystało
during the official opening ceremony of the academic year, usually the rector takes the floor and has the opening speech. Rector Professor Wiak described the situation in the past 4 years. So I'm going to say a few words about what has happened recently and what is going to happen within the term of office that I'm honored to open.
Jestem lekko stremowany, to występuję w tym miejscu.
I'm a bit nervous because it's the first time when I have the honor to address you as rector of the Technical University of Łódź for the first time. It is a great privilege and an exceptional moment for me, first of all, since it is my debut. It's not easy. And secondly, because of the extraordinary situation in which we had to inaugurate the 76th academic year at the Łódź University of Technology. For safety reasons, the ceremony can be attended by a limited number of people. So I would like to again thank for understanding all of you watching the live streaming. The pandemic has affected many aspects of our lives. And as Rector Professor Kordek, Director of the Medical University, says, that steers our activities and the pandemic governs our decisions. The pandemic has changed our plans and has put us in unknown situation. I would like to welcome everyone once again, especially the newly enrolled students, and congratulate them on their success. They are students of the Łódź University of Technology. That's a success. Ladies and gentlemen, my life has been connected with the Łódź University of Technology for almost 40 years now. I studied here, conducted scientific work, held managerial positions, and was the vice rector. I'm aware of the responsibilities and duties that lie ahead of us. And thank you for giving me the privilege of managing the Łódź University of Technology. I will carry out this mission in a team. My closest associates include Professor Paweł Strumiło, Vice Rector for Development, Professor Łukasz Albrecht, Vice Rector for Science, Professor Andrzej Romanowski, Vice Rector for Education, and Professor Witold Pawłowski, Vice Rector for Student Affairs. Having decided to run in the election, I was aware of the current epidemic, so the most important task at the moment is to ensure that the university operates smoothly. Thank you very much for your efforts and commitment while working remotely during the last semester. Further improvement and development of e-learning methods and techniques is ahead of us. This is a challenge that we will still have to face in the coming period, but I hope that the experience we have gained so far will help us to function effectively in a hybrid mode, especially it is related to verification of the effectiveness of teaching and learning. No matter what the circumstances are, our goal is to continue improvement of research. We believe that when we plan our scientific activities, we have to
że
involve
pomocny w
best scientific
w tym zakresie
disciplines.
stanie się system
I
motywacji dla
believe that
potwierdzania
the
prowadzenia prac
motivation
badawczych.
system is
Naszą dumą
extremely
jest obecność w
important. We
międzynarodowych
are
sieciach współpracy
proud of
naukowej, dzięki
being
czemu skutecznie
part of
pozyskujemy środki na
international
badania.
networks. That's why we
Ostatnio
receive
zdobyte
different
nowe
funds.
projekty w
For
ramach
example,
programu
Horizon 2020 is one
Wsparciem
of the
dla tych działań w
frameworks
przyszłości
that
ma się
helped
stać Centrum
us
Nauki.
to attract funding.
Będą łączyły je z pracami,
The
które
Center
rozpoczęło
of
centrum, będzie łączyło je z
Science
pracami, które rozpoczęło
will
utworzone
support
przez
such
pana
activities.
rektora
It is a
profesora Wiaka
continuation
Centrum
of the work
Danych i Analiz
done
Strategicznych.
by Professor
Chciałbym,
Wiak,
aby był to
who
ośrodek
established the
wspomagający wszelką
Data and
działalność
Strategic
związaną z rozwojem
Analysis
nauki
Center.
w naszej
I
uczelni,
want
ale
it to
także
be a
wspomagający
center that
system
supports all
zarządzania.
activities related to the development of science
Naukowcy
in our
zyskają możliwość
universities.
korzystania z wewnętrznego systemu
Researchers will
grantów,
benefit from an
wspomagający
internal
przygotowanie
system of
aplikacji do
grants
zewnętrznych
supporting the
instytucji
drafting of
finansujących
applications to external institutions
Mają
which
świadomość, jak
finance
ważna jest
science.
interdyscyplinarność.
Being aware of the
Wsparcie uzyskają
importance
także
of
inicjatywy,
interdisciplinarity,
które zaangażowani są
assistance
przedstawiciele
will go
różnych
to
dyscyplin
initiatives
oraz różnych
involving
jednostek.
representatives of
Ze
various
szczególnym
disciplines
naciskiem
and various
na
units,
współpracę międzynarodową.
with particular emphasis on international
Niezwykle ważna jest
cooperation.
także nasza obecność
It is extremely important that we are one of the 21 universities implementing the Initiative of Excellence Research University. We are part of the 21 universities and the Poznan Technical University has joined this network. An additional budget of 2% of the basic subsidy will allow us to carry out activities and improve the quality of research at the Łódź University of Technology, and in the near future we will establish a Rectors Commission responsible for the implementation of the plans defined in the application to the program, the Initiative of Excellence Research University. In addition to human capital, research infrastructure is important. It is an essential condition for promotion of education. The Ministry of Science and Higher Education has selected a list of 70 scientific undertakings of great social and economic importance. I would like to inform you that on the Polish map of research infrastructure, there are 7 projects in which Łódź University of Technology participates. I congratulate you on that. Ladies and gentlemen, our university operates on many levels, and the vision of the university's activities and development should cover all the areas in the short and long run. We want to be part of the EU ACE program of Europe's University 2030, and the Łódź University of Technology should play a significant role as a European university. We want to be a partner in a network of European scientific institutions. We have started talks to return to the European Consortium of Innovative Universities. I am convinced that modern education is a tool for our university's success. I see potential in the work of young scientists, so we create development paths for the most gifted MA and PhD students. We will introduce new and develop the existing teaching methods. We will increase the proportion of classes conducted in foreign languages. All students are important to us, but we will take special care of the best students, starting with cooperation with secondary schools and offering individual scientific mentoring when they study at the university. And the support will continue during higher education, and we will develop individual advanced curricula for these students and involve them in scientific research. One of the challenges we face is the development and implementation of procedures for recognizing learning outcomes achieved outside the university. So financial awards will be introduced at the Łódź University of Technology for lecturers. Our aim is also to boost exchange of MA and PhD students, as well as employees, which will increase internationalization of our community despite the pandemic. Thanks to international cooperation centers' efforts, we are successful here too, so thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Łódź University of Technology has a continuously upgraded infrastructure which creates opportunities for effective research and teaching. The Lab and Conference Center, one of the largest investment in recent years, as Professor Wiak mentioned, the Alchemium Center, and I'm very grateful grateful to Professor Rector Wiach, who launched the investment. It is likely that the opening ceremony for the first out of 3 buildings will take place in the first quarter of 2021. It was because of the current epidemic threat that this delay has happened. The largest hall will be named after Professor Tadeusz Parejczak. We are also planning to raise the profile of this ceremony by awarding the title of Doctor Honoris Causa to the outstanding scientist Professor Klaus Mühlen. Apart from the construction of the Alchemium building complex, we also carry out other initiatives. We have just prepared an application for funding of the complete renovation of the second student dormitory. Soon, Józef Richter's villa will become a workplace for all vice-rectors. I have undertaken efforts to ensure that Reinhold Richter's villa, which was severely damaged in the 2016 fire, regains its former glory. My priority is to obtain funding for this purpose to renovate Reinhold Richter's villa. I am convinced that the academic community of our university is bound by mutual respect, equality, openness, and a sense of unity. I would like the Łódź University of Technology to become an even more friendly place for the members of our community. That is why we plan to open a crèche and kindergarten for the children of our staff and students. 300 questionnaires were filled in yesterday by the members of our staff and students, and 160 members of our academic community want their children to go to our crèche or kindergarten. I intend to support initiatives that build good relations between members of our academic community, as well as undertakings that will ensure that the time spent studying and working at the Łódź University of Technology will be devoted not only to acquiring hard skills, but also experiences necessary for valuable personal development. Ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that success depends on good communication and openness to dialogue. To this end, we have started regular meetings of the rector, vice-rectors, deans, and in the near future, meetings with the chairs of the academic degree councils, councils of the disciplines of science, and councils of degree programs will be held. This enables exchange of views, and representatives of the student and PhD student governments will also participate in these discussions. The Łódź University of Technology is an internationally recognized university. We all know how important international cooperation is, which is why communication in Polish and English is so important. I'm thinking of the content of the website of the university and all its institutes. And also this promotes the recognition of the Łódź University of Technology. Soon we will launch a new website for the Łódź University of Technology. I treat this initiative as a positive step forward. I am aware of the great potential of cooperation with graduates for further success of the university. We will build even closer ties with our graduates. I see a balanced cooperation with the economic milieu, local and regional authorities in Łódź and Łódź province, as well as state administration as an essential prerequisite for further development. Our goal is to implement the academia, business, government, society, media cooperation model. Łódź University of Technology is recognized for its technologies, number of patents, and interdisciplinary nature of our projects. We are in the process of changes aimed at introducing tools and procedures that will improve the model of putting university technologies to business. The long-term action strategy planned by us is aimed at greater support for cooperation between our scientists and the business world, and we will be able to earn money thanks to technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, a modern university faces a number of challenges in terms of social responsibility. I appreciate that Łódź University of Technology runs the University of the Third Age, Public Secondary School, Children's University of Łódź, and numerous other initiatives popularizing science and cultural events. I would like the university to continue to be open to citizens of Łódź and the region. We remember about our mission to respond to the educational and competence-related needs of our society. Our students, individually and in groups, undertake many praiseworthy activities which serve those in need.
Bez wątpienia będziemy
We will
wspierać takie
undoubtedly
inicjatywy.
support such initiatives as well as implement socially important projects.
Jedną z nich jest
One of them
popularyzacja
is
aktywności
popularization of physical activity. At the Łódź University of Technology, we understand how important sports practice by students is for their development. The pandemic affected this area of activity. I am pleased to announce that we will
możliwość bycia gospodarzem
host
europejskich
EUSA Games,
EUG 2022 pod
the
patronatem
European
EUS.
Universities Games in
Mamy przyjemność
2022.
kontynuować
As
rozpoczętą
Professor
rektor
Wiak mentioned. He initiated preparation for the European Universities Games. In September, our interim report was well received, and in December we will launch the EUG office officially. Yesterday we received information that 1,200,000 zloty is going to be earmarked for organization of the European Universities Games, and we will promote the Academic Łódź and the Łódź University of Technology in this way. And the Łódź University of Technology will not have to earmark its own funds to that. Let me go back to our history for a moment. The first rector of the Łódź University of Technology, Professor Bogdan Stefanowski, in his speech during the first ever opening ceremony of the academic year, outlined two basic tasks of the emerging university. That is to educate different types of specialists as the first one, and to create favorable conditions for cherishing knowledge and talent and devoting oneself to scientific work as a second key task. Nothing has changed in this respect. It is only the situation and conditions that have changed. We should make every effort to maintain and bolster our strong position in an increasingly competitive world. I am sure that we will achieve these ambitious goals in such a team, with such a potential and energy of our scientists, employees, PhD students, BA and MA students. Unleash your potential. This is the slogan with which we encourage candidates to study at the Łódź University of Technology. I admire our students who develop their passions and achieve scientific success. You can see their pictures on the screen. Let us remain open to new development opportunities, expand our global network of contacts, use the potential of available projects, and let us be proud of our university. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you constant professional satisfaction, many successes, and fulfillment of your plans. Dear students, I wish you to meet role models on your way. I hope you find your passion and enjoy studying. I'm happy that we are heading towards a better future together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have already said that there are fewer people in the auditorium. However, we have received some wishes for the new academic year from the distinguished visitors. We have done our best to make sure that today they are able to help us to open the new academic year. So now I would like to invite you to watch a video with the speech by Minister Wilczek. Dear academic community, at the very beginning, it's not incidental that I am using the word community. Each university is a community which joins students and PhD students, lecturers and researchers, administration, personnel and the university authorities, including the rector. It is the community which is unified in its constant search for truth, good and beauty. At the same time, all the universities are joined with one mission, with one ethos. It also creates the community. What does it mean to be a community? What does it mean to be together and to to provide support to one another. We have experienced this particularly strongly in the past academic year, when we had to face the challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic. I would like to thank you cordially for the fact that the Polish universities have done very well in passing this unexpected and so hard exam. Very quickly you have managed to change the mode of teaching and learning. You were delivering exercises, lectures and sessions. You kept conducting scientific research. And what is most important, everything has been directed by the care of every member of the community. Our academic community also has a very specific and significant contribution in the fight against the pandemic. The Polish test for coronavirus, that is Ventil, one respirator used to respirate 2 patients. I would like to assure you that the Ministry of Science and Higher Education will always provide you with the full support. You can count for the dialogue, for understanding, for flexible and fast acting in the face of the changing circumstances and needs. Because this is how authentic, true community works, in solidarity, in wisdom and consistently, and it always takes care of the good of everyone. During the pandemic, each one of us is asking the following question: what the coming months will bring? We can be sure of one thing: the community will again meet the challenge, especially that today we have much more experience. That is why we are not only hopeful, but we are joyful. As usual in October, we are starting the new academic year 2020-2021. I would like to wish you that the coming weeks and months will be the time of the true development. I would like to wish you to be persistent and successful, and I hope that you will be feeling that each one of us is supported by this great community. Minister, thank you for these words. The academic community is a special value. We do understand it very well at the Łódź University of Technology. Academic community lives here, works here according to 2 symbols: the truth and liberty. We have also received a speech by Dr. Tobiasz Gbuchański, who is the governor of Łódzkie.
Magnificences, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the new academic year at one of the best universities in Poland. I'm sure that you are going to see new achievements, new experiments that are going to enrich Polish and worldwide science. I wish you dynamic development and growth and the development of innovations at the universities. And please look into the future with hope. Some of you have just started studying, some of you have had some experience of studying already. I wish you all the best, let your dreams come true, and please enjoy your life while studying. MA students and PhD students, please complete your studies successfully and defend your dissertations. And I'm sure you are going to be part of the community of graduates of the Łódź University of Technology who raise the prestige of the university. I wish you all to stay healthy despite the pandemic. All the best, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Thank you very much, dear Governor. Thank you for these wishes of staying healthy and safe. And the words of Grzegorz Schreiber, Marshal of the Łódź province, are very warm. Let us listen to the recording.
Studies is one of the most beautiful periods in our life. It's the time of intensive development and the best friendships. It's also the time of acquiring knowledge that is necessary to start our future professional life. In your case, I'm sure that it will be successful life. The Łódź University of Technology is the university that provides you with the good foundation to deliver the most ambitious professional plans. I wish you success and persistence in aspiring to your success. I hope that your future will be related with the Łódzkie region, which needs your energy and involvement. Especially warm words. Message is addressed to the students of year 1. This is your debut in the academic career. It's the beginning of your great life adventure. Unfortunately, this academic year will be marked by some rigors and limitations due to the coronavirus pandemic. That is why, instead of having a live meeting, I have to meet with you online, but I'm sure that studies at this great university will not disappoint you and will provide you with the opportunity of enjoying all your passions. Ignacy Paderewski used to say that knowledge is the only thing that enriches and that cannot be taken from us by anyone. You should remember these words. Good luck in the new academic year. Thank you very much, Mr. Marshall. Thank you warmly on behalf of the students, year 1 students in particular. Now I would like to invite you to watch the wishes from the graduate of our university, the mayor of the city of Łódź, Mrs. Hanna Zdanowska.
Magnificences, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear students, this year's official opening ceremony of the academic year is exceptional, and thanks to new technologies I can address you. Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik received from Professor Wiak, rector's insignia. I would like to thank the previous rector for cooperation, and I wish the new rector success in his work. I'm optimistic about the future. I'm convinced that projects developed by our universities will strengthen the academic Łódź. I congratulate students on their choice. I am myself a graduate of the Łódź University of Technology. I keep my fingers crossed for you, and I'm sure Łódź is going to be your home place and the place where you develop your career. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 76th academic year at the Łódź University of Technology. I admire the successes of my alma mater, and I wish you successes and good luck. Thank you, dear Mayor. I'm also happy that the academic Łódź is an important part of the integrated program of Łódź 2020 Plus strategy. I'm sure we will develop common ideas about the development of our city. And a renowned professor, scientist, scholar, Professor Jan Kresiński, who used to be the rector for 4 terms in office. Let us listen to his words.
Your Magnificence, High Senate, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, and all the viewers who are watching us online, who are watching at the screens of the PC, smartphones and tablets. I have been a rector of the university for 4 years, and I have this honor to provide a speech during the opening ceremony of the academic year 2020-2021. I would like to thank for this the new rector, Professor Krzysztof Jóźwik. Maybe this will be the tradition of inaugurations. We are starting the academic year in a very difficult situation of the coronavirus pandemic. It requires mobilization of all of us. However, I'm not going to talk about this. I would like to extend my wishes to our academic community. I would like to begin with the year 1 students. I would like to wish you that the studies are the nicest time of your life. You are mature. You do not have to follow the rigors imposed by your mothers and fathers, and now you can decide about your future yourselves. Benefit from this period as much as possible. Acquiring knowledge is passion. Is really great passion, and the direction of your studies can help you to fulfill your passions. I hope that this happens. Be active during the classes. Ask questions to your lecturers. The lectures should become dialogues, not monologues. Only then they can benefit both sides. When you are studying, do not forget the pleasures. Talented people who are talented in the arts, they can sing in our great choir, or they can play in our school band. The students' radio Jacques can allow you to exercise your media passions. You have lots of opportunities to practice sports in the base sports, which is one of the most beautiful facilities of this time in Poland. Now I would like to extend wishes to the new rector, Professor Krzysztof Jóźwiak. You are starting to become the rector of the Łódź University of Technology in a very difficult period. You have to make very fast and sometimes very difficult decisions. I hope they are good decisions and they will support development of the university, and they will help to get rid of problems. I also would like to wish you good cooperation with vice directors. I hope that you have a good group, as a good band, good orchestra. I hope that Your Magnificence, you will remember that the university supports development of industry and entrepreneurship. This is why you should have a balance. You should keep balance between the practical exercises and theory. The new system, scoring systems to evaluate your employees should not infringe this balance. I would also like to wish you, Your Magnificence, that your management will help our city and region to develop. And to finish my speech, to close my speech, I would like to extend one more wish. I have been trying to build a geothermal station in our campus, and this project has been developed long time ago, and now there is a new perspective coming, and I do hope that Your Magnificence, in cooperation with the mayor of the city of Łódź, Hanna Zdanowska, will help us to implement this project. I would like to wish the vice rectors to have harmonious cooperation with the rector. You have to remember that each one of you have to be very active in practicing your own area, not waiting for the stimulation from the rector. Also, there are females among the vice rectors, so I hope that you will be able to integrate the personnel of different faculties to make sure that we do not have the situation where employees of the specific faculty do not know employees from other faculties, and they will not know under which areas of science they will be able to cooperate. So I would like you to consider to have this state again. And now the administration personnel, you are a very important group of our employees. You facilitate good organization and functioning of our university. Please remember that your role is a service, and the service is very valuable to the university. And to close my speech, I would like to extend my wishes to the director for finance and the quaestor. I hope that you will not have to worry when and how the virtual money will be exchanged into the cash, to make sure that during the pandemic our budget doesn't become lean. Traditionally, I would like to wish you good health and satisfaction about your work in the university now and in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Panie rektorze, bardzo dziękujemy.
Thank you very much, Rector, for these warm words and wishes. Everyone knows what to expect. two, three sentences of a comment on my behalf. We have cooperated with the mayor of Łódź, and Professor Krysiński will learn about the implementation of the geothermal drill in Łódź, which is going to be possible, and if our expectations are being to be implemented, then heating of our campus is going to happen due to this geothermal solution. And finally, Rector Krysiński, in accordance with his hobby, mentioned the musical metaphor. So following this train of thought, let me say that the score of our university should be written by all the members of our university community. And this is what I wish all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, as regards awards handed to students, Professor Witold Pawłowski, Vice Rector for Student Affairs, is going to take the floor now.
Magnificencjo rektorze, Wysoki Senacie,
Your Magnificence,
mam wielką
Rector,
przyjemność
dear
zapowiedzieć
Senate,
nagrodę
ladies and
Student
gentlemen,
Roku.
the Student of the Year Award
Wydziałów i kolegiów w uznaniu
goes
ich
to
osiągnięć
different
akademickich,
representatives of different faculties who have been successful in their academic achievements and other type of activities. So people we are going to see have been the best students among the faculties of our university. The Student of the Year 2019-2020 are Maciej Kupras, the Mechanical Faculty, Oskar Zieliński, Electrical and Technical and IT and Automatic Faculty, Jakub Józiewicz, the Chemical Faculty, Maria Potempa, Material Technology and Textile Patterns, Julia Fasten, the Biotechnological Faculty and Food Faculty, Kalina Kiszniewska, Construction, Architecture and Environmental Engineering, Mateusz Sipiński, Physics, IT and Applied Mathematics, Marta Wiśniewska, the Management and Production Engineering Faculty, Anna Szczepańskie, Process Engineering and Environmental Protection, Michał Tarkowski for the second time, the Center for International Education, Weronika Cieszewska, the Material College, the Logistics College, and Katarzyna Kubicz, the Spatial Economy Faculty. Your Magnificence and Paula Leśniewska, the chairwoman of the student government, please hand over the awards.
Oskar Zieliński. Proszę pana, gratuluję panu serdecznie osiągniętych wyników. Życzę panu dalszy sukces w kształceniu się, jak i w życiu osobistym i zawodowym. Pan Jakub Józefowicz. Proszę pana, gratuluję serdecznie osiągniętych wyników. Życzę wszystkiego dobrego, aby dalej wszystko przebiegało zgodnie z myślą w życiu osobistym, zawodowym i w uczeniu się.
Marta Potempa.
Maria Potempa. Dobrze, że podpowiedź mi. Gratuluję panu. Wszystkiego dobrego dla pani w życiu osobistym, zawodowym i w dalszej karierze uczenia się. Pani Julia Pasty. Gratuluję pani osiągniętych wyników. Życzę wszystkiego dobrego, wszystkiego najlepszego w życiu zawodowym i osobistym. Pani Kalina Kieszeniewska. Tak? Proszę Pani, wszystkiego dobrego. Gratuluję Pani wyniku. Życzę naszej drodze samej pomyślności. Pan Mateusz Sipiński. Gratuluję Panu osiągniętego wyniku. Życzę powodzenia. Życzę wszystkiego najlepszego w naszej drodze. Pani Marta Wiśniewska. Gratuluję Pani. Życzę wszystkiego dobrego w naszym życiu osobistym i zawodowym. Pani Anna Szczepańska. Gratuluję Pani. Życzę wszystkiego dobrego w dalszej drodze uczenia się, a nie zawodowego i osobistego.
Mamy.
Pani Weronika Ciszewska.
Piątkowska.
Pani Weronika Piątkowska. Znaleźliśmy prawidłowo. Gratuluję Pani wyniku. Życzę wszystkiego dobrego i powodzenia w dalszej drodze. I Pani Katarzyna Kuchicz. Gratuluję Pani. Życzę wszystkiego najlepszego w naszej drodze zawodowej, osobistej i Waszym kształceniu. Bardzo dziękuję.
Zapraszamy do wspólnego zdjęcia jeszcze.
Let
A
us
Państwa poproszę
take a
o
picture
nagrodami naszych
and
najlepszych.
a round of applause to the best students of the year.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you.
Szanowni Państwo, rozpoczynamy
Ladies and gentlemen,
najważniejszą część dzisiejszej
now
uroczystości. czyli
we open the most important part
Bardzo
of
proszę
today's
osoby
ceremony,
przyjęte na studia z najlepszymi
matriculation.
wynikami w procesie rekrutacji
Those who have been
o
best
przystąpienie do ślubowania. Osoby, które
graduates
będą
of
decydowały
secondary
się o wyjście
schools
z życiowej.
who have been
Z Wydziału
enrolled in the
Mechanicznego Jan
university.
Koziński.
Jan Koziński, the
Z Wydziału
mechanical faculty,
Elektrotechniki, Elektroniki,
electrical
Informatyki i
technology,
Automatyki
electronic
Tomasz
computer
Żelazki.
and automatic engineering
Wydziału
Tomasz Żelazki, the
Chemicznego
faculty
Konrad
of chemistry Konrad
Wydział
Stefaniak,
Technologii
Faculty of
Materiałowych i
Material
Wzornictwa
Technologies
Tekstyliów
and Textile
Kamila
Design Kamila Malis.
z Wydziału Biotechnologii i Nauk
Faculty of
Żywności
Biotechnology and
Patryk
Food
Kowalczyk.
Sciences Patryk
Z
Kowalczyk.
Wydziału Budownictwa,
Faculty
Architektury
of
i
Civil
Inżynierii
Engineering,
Środowiska
Architecture and
Sara
Environmental
Clausen.
Engineering Sara
z Wydziału
Clausen.
Fizyki Technicznej, Informatyki
Faculty
i
of Technical
Matematyki
Physics,
Stosowanej
Information
Piotr
Technology
Tomczyk.
and Applied Mathematics
Z
Piotr
Wydziału
Tomczyk.
Zarządzania i Inżynierii
Faculty of
Produkcji
Management and
Anna
Production
Sobczak.
Engineering Anna Sobczak.
Z Wydziału Inżynierii
Faculty
Procesowej
of
i Ochrony
Process and
Środowiska
Environmental
Martyna
Engineering
Wiśniewska.
Martyna Wiśniewska.
I z Centrum Kształcenia
And
Międzynarodowego
the Center
Michał
for International Education Michał Buczek.
Wszystkich jeszcze chwileczkę.
Ladies
Drodzy
and
Państwo,
gentlemen, 1 second please.
Dokonaliście doskonałego wyboru, decydując się
You've
na
made
studia w
a
Politechnice
perfect
Łódzkiej.
choice while
Składając
selecting the Łódź
ślubowanie, stajecie się
University of
pełnoprawnymi
Technology.
członkami jej
By
społeczności
taking the
akademickiej.
oath, you
Przez
become
kolejne
members of the
lata
university
wasz los
community.
związany będzie z
For
jedną
the
z wiodących
subsequent
uczelni
years,
technicznych
you
w
are
Polsce.
going to be
W zdobywaniu
linked to
zaawansowanej
the
wiedzy,
best,
nowych
one of the
umiejętności,
best
poznawaniu
universities
siebie,
of technology in
towarzyszyć i
Poland.
wspierać was
You are
będą
going to
znakomici
be
nauczyciele
supported by
akademiccy
wonderful
i jednocześnie
lecturers
wybitni naukowcy.
who are also
Studenckie
renowned
życie was
scholars
prowadzać
and
będą zaś starsi
scientists.
koledzy
Your
działający w samorządzie
older
studenckim,
colleagues
studenckich kołach
from
naukowych, a
student
także organizacjach
governments,
kulturalnych,
from
turystycznych
cultural,
i
tourist and sports organizations are going to assist you.
Jestem
And they
przekonany, że
will
czas
help you
studiów
during
w
the
Politechnice
induction
Łódzkiej
period.
będzie
The
jednym z
period of
najlepszych,
education
najbardziej wartościowych
at the
okresów
Łódź
waszych
University of
życia,
Technology is going to
które
be one of the
wykorzystacie, by
most
nawiązać
fruitful
piękne,
periods
trwałe
of your
przyjaźnie
life. You are
oraz
going to
zbudować
make
solidne
friendships
podstawy dla
and
przyszłych
build
sukcesów zawodowych.
a good foundation
Przejdźmy zatem
for
do
your
najbardziej
future
pomocnej części
professional
uroczystości,
achievements.
do ślubowania.
Now
Bardzo
the
proszę Państwa o powstanie.
horse. All rise.
Studenci będą powtarzać za mną słowa roty.
We are going to
Ślubuję
repeat
uroczyście,
the words of the oath. I solemnly
że
vow
będę wytrwale dążyć
that I will
do
make
zdobywania
every
wiedzy
effort to
i
acquire
rozwoju
knowledge and
własnej
develop my
osobowości.
own character.
Odnosić się z szacunkiem do władz
Treat the
uczelni i
authorities of the
wszystkich
university
członków
and
jej
all members of
społeczności.
its community with respect.
Przestrzegać prawa uczelni i szanować jej
Observe the
obyczaje
university's laws and respect its customs.
oraz swym postępowaniem dbać o
And act in
godność
the way
i
that
honor
cares for
studenta
dignity and
Politechniki Łódzkiej.
honor of a student of the Łódź University of Technology.
Od tego momentu jesteście Państwo studentami.
So now
Bardzo
you
proszę
are
o zajęcie
students.
miejsc.
Take your
A do
seats,
wręczenia
please.
dyplomów gratulacyjnych nowym
And
studentom Politechniki
new
Łódzkiej
students of
uprzejmie
the
proszę
Łódź
magnificencję
University
rektora
of
oraz panią
Technology
Paulę
will
Leśniewską,
receive
przewodniczącą
from
samorządu studenckiego.
His Magnificence Rector and Ms. Paula Leśniewska, the chair of the student government, will hand over the commemorative diplomas.
Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet studentów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Wszystkim Państwu bardzo serdecznie gratuluję.
Let me congratulate you on becoming students.
Bardzo dziękuję Państwu.
Thank
Proszę zająć
you.
miejsca.
Take your seats, please.
Dziękuję Magnificencjo.
Thank you, Your Magnificence.
Uprzejmie proszę Panią Paulę Leśniewską,
Paula
przewodniczącą
Leśniewska,
samorządu
the
studenckiego, o
chair of the
wystąpienie i
student
zapoznanie zebranych
government,
z działalnością
will
studencką.
take the floor and say a few words about the activity of students at the university.
Dziękuję bardzo, panie rektorze.
Thank you, Rector.
Rektorze, Wysoki
Your
Senacie,
Magnificence,
szanowni państwo,
members of the
koledzy
Senate,
studenci. Jest mi
colleagues.
niezmiernie miło w imieniu samorządu studenckiego.
I am happy to welcome you all at the official opening ceremony of the academic year 2021.
Szczególnie chciałabym powitać naszych najmłodszych
I would like
kolegów
to
i
welcome
koleżanki,
our
którzy dzisiaj
youngest
rozpoczynają
colleagues
przygodę z naszą uczelnią.
who embark on this
To właśnie
journey
do nich
of
chciałabym
education at the Łódź University of Technology, and I would like to address them in the first place. Those of you present here in the hall and those who participate in live streaming. Dear students, a difficult period of decision-making about your future is over. You have made a choice as regards the faculty and the university. Let me congratulate you on your choice, and I'm happy you have selected the Łódź University of Technology, because this is the university that focuses on a student. And you will certainly learn that you've made the right decision. You are facing difficult times. It's a difficult period because you start studying. Many say it's the best period of our lives, and we have heard these words in some of the speeches today. But it's also a new reality of e-learning, of remote or distance teaching and learning. It's a new reality we are struggling with, but I'm sure we are going to be successful in it. When studying at our university, please remember several important things. Education is not only about education, it's also a time for your personal development. You have entered the university not only to receive hard skills to get a diploma. It's the best period of life for you to choose your own path, to learn the world, to try new things. This is the period of studying. When we do that, I hope that each of us and each of you, every one of you, is going to participate in additional activities that are offered by our university, because it's a chance for personal development during studying. Let us not forget that
Najlepsze jest za pomocą
it is
krótkich
best to make your own mistakes on the way towards choosing the right path. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Even bad choices teach us something. We have time to change something, to start something anew, to experiment, because this is the period of studying at the university, is the best period for trying new things. Our alma mater offers a lot of things. So we have scientific circles, we have student government, we have student associations. It is the tip of the iceberg only that you can see at the University of Technology. Last year, during the last semester, we had to face a new challenge. We had to find our new place in a new reality, and we had to use new solutions to ensure education at the Łódź University of Technology. If we tackle these issues as successfully as we did last semester, there are going to be even better solutions, and I would like to thank the authorities of our university for involving the student government in the process of looking for new solutions which had to be applied in order to implement distance teaching and learning at top level, so that we ensure top-notch quality of education. We would like to thank the authorities for support offered to students of our university, because during the days of the pandemic, it is very important. There are new aspects of this assistance that we have to take into account, and we will encourage this support this year as well. And there are challenges ahead of us. Dear students, I wish you to start the new academic year with a lot of force, a lot of strength, energy, and motivation to acquire new knowledge and to develop. Our university is going to be your second home for years to come. So I hope you feel at home here and that you belong to the community. His Magnificence Rector has mentioned we have to respect the academic tradition. I will add that you have to feel the belonging to our community, and I hope you feel you belong here at the University of Technology in Łódź and that you feel yourselves part of the community. Thank you.
Bardzo dziękuję za te słowa.
Thank you very much for these words.
Studentów zapewniam, że w tym
I would
procesie
like to
pogłębiania,
ensure all the students that at the time of making your choices, we are always with you, we are for you, and we will be supporting you in all your choices.
Ze swojej strony dołączam się do podziękowań dla
I would also
pana
like to
rektora
say
za
thank you to the
dotychczasowe
rector
wsparcie
for
dla
his
samorządu.
support to the students'
To
government.
wsparcie
This
dało,
support
szczególną siłę temu samorządowi.
has provided special energy to the government. And thank you to the government for the cooperation. I hope we will continue this cooperation. Your Magnificence, Director, please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you to the engineer Leśniewska. She's still the student, but she's the engineer. Yesterday, the Jacques Radio, one of the journalists, has talked about my hobby, my favorite passion, that is cooking. And he asked me, since you like cooking so much, compare the studies at the Łódź University of Technology to a dish. I was completely surprised, but this is what I thought. Well, studies at the Łódź University of Technology is like a traditional dish, which is very innovative. It has a deep flavor with a huge bouquet of flavors, very spicy and with lots of calories. So eat it as much as you can.
Proszę Państwa, w ubiegłym
Ladies
roku
and gentlemen, last year the Łódź University of Technology launched the interdisciplinary doctoral school, which facilitates development of new scientists. During the next part of our ceremony, representative of these schools will take the oath. This part will be delivered by the Vice Rector for Science, Professor Łukasz Albrecht. Professor, the floor is yours.
Magnificencjo Rektorze,
Your Magnificence,
Wysoki
Rector,
Senacie,
the High Senate,
Szanowni Państwo,
ladies and gentlemen.
przechodzimy teraz do kolejnej
Now
części naszej
we will commence
uroczystości,
the next part
którą
of
będzie
our
złożenie
ceremony.
ślubowania
It will be
przez
the oath-taking by PhD students of the Interdisciplinary Doctoral School of the Łódź University of Technology, where education process is delivered in English. I am deeply convinced that this unit will be a forge of talents of young scientists to develop, young scientists from different parts of the world. I would like to invite you to the special ceremony of matriculation of representatives of the Interdisciplinary Doctoral School of the Łódź University of Technology. The following person represents the following disciplines. Please come and stand next to the stage. And they include the Automatic Control, Electronic and Electric Engineering discipline, Mr. Michał Smoliński and Arkadiusz Woźniak. The discipline of Chemical Engineering, Ms. Dominika Ogrodowczyk. The discipline of Chemical Sciences, Mr. Tomasz Bystry. The discipline of Food Technology, Mr. Szymon Ługowej. And the discipline of Management and Quality Sciences, Mrs. Natalia Wileńska.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, you have successfully completed the process of recruitment for the Interdisciplinary Doctoral School of the Łódź University of Technology. In a moment, after the oath-taking ceremony, you will join the community of its students. From this moment, your scientific and research work for a few coming years will be linked with one of the best universities in Poland. You will be developing here, you will be cooperating with outstanding scientists, employees of the Łódź University of Technology. You will be able to use modern research infrastructure of our university. If you will be doing some implementation doctorate work here, you will have a unique opportunity of combining your academic university career with the professional career. I am convinced that your work will contribute to not only improvement, enhancing our university accomplishments, you will also help to elaborate some specific solutions to improve activities, operations of companies for which you work. I wish you that the time spent at the Łódź University of Technology is a special time. Please benefit from this time. I hope it will become an opportunity to develop personally and scientifically. I would like to wish you that learning becomes your passion. Be interested. Do not be afraid to outreach your scientific comfort zone. Make special scientific discoveries and redound credit to our school. Now, let us proceed with the most important part of this ceremony, that is the oath-taking ceremony. Please rise. I would like to ask the PhD students to repeat after me the following words. I solemnly vow that I will make every effort to acquire knowledge and develop my own character,
odnosić się z szacunkiem
treat the authorities of the university and all members of its community with respect.
Przestrzegać prawa
Observe the
uczelni,
university's laws
szanować
and
jej
respect
obyczaje
its customs,
oraz swym
and
postępowaniem
act in the
dbać o
way
godność i
that
honor
cares for dignity
doktorantów
and honor of
Politechniki
PhD student of the Łódź University of Technology.
Gratuluję Państwu.
Congratulations,
Przyjęci do
you
grona
have
doktorantów
been
Politechniki Łódzkiej.
you have become
Teraz
members
chciałbym
of the
poprosić
community of students
magnificencję
of
rektora
the Łódź
oraz,
University of Technology, and
przewodniczącą
now I would like to
Samorządu
ask His
Doktorantów
Magnificent
panią
Director and
Annę
Mrs. Anna Bednarowicz, who is the
o
chair of the
wręczenie
PhD
certyfikatów
students
nowo przyjętych
government
doktorantów.
to award certificates to the newly accepted PhD students.
Przyjmuję Pana w poczet doktorantów Politechniki
You
Łódzkiej.
have become a PhD student of the Łódź University of Technology.
Przyjmuję Pana w poczet doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Życzę Panu wytrwałości w poszukiwaniu prawdy i zachowania wolności w nauce. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Życzę wytrwałości w poszukiwaniu prawdy i zachowania wolności w nauce. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Życzę wytrwałości w poszukiwaniu prawdy i zachowania wolności w nauce. Przyjmuję Pana w poczet doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Życzę Panu wytrwałości w poszukiwaniu prawdy i zachowania wolności w nauce. Przyjmuję Panią w poczet doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Życzę wytrwałości w poszukiwaniu prawdy i zachowania wolności w nauce. Gratuluję Państwu bardzo serdecznie.
Dziękuję Państwu. Poproszę teraz o zabranie głosu panią Annę Bednarowicz, przewodniczącą Samorządu Doktorantów Politechniki Łódzkiej. Pani przewodnicząca, oddaję Pani głos.
Magnificencjo rektorze,
Your Magnificent Director, the High Senate, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank you warmly for allowing me to take part in this special event that is the opening of the academic year 2020-2021. We have just closed the year full of challenges. We started the activity of the interdisciplinary school, doctoral school. We had to also face the challenges connected with the coronavirus pandemic. I think we have coped very well. The starting academic year will apply hybrid education, and it will be a challenge, but I'm sure that we will cope with this challenge. This year will be also internal for PhD students who last year started their interdisciplinary training in the school, because their work will be assessed. There will be inter-term assessment. I'm sure that everybody will meet this challenge. Of course, this is for the doctoral students themselves. This is their achievements. However, we have to remember the teachers and all the other personnel who have supported and inspired the students. Although the doctoral students are not the biggest group at the university, we are an important group because we are the future of science. As the civilization, we are facing lots of challenges, and thanks to the scientific research, we will be able to resolve lots of problems of the contemporary world. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful things in the academic research is freedom and creativity we can get. However, we have to remember that education of young scientists depend on good interhuman relations. I'm happy that at this university we respect each other, there is equality and tolerance, and everybody can find a place here. We shouldn't forget that the values that are present in these universities are important in our daily life. Just when we are studying and just in the social life, diversity is our strength. I'm happy that despite of the difficult epidemiological situation, PhD students of the universities, there will be more PhD students at the university. And thanks to our work and involvement, we will be able to develop science and make the lives better. I would like to wish the students, teachers, authorities of the universities and administration personnel a lot of success in this starting academic year. Thank you very much.
Pani Przewodnicząca, dziękuję za to wystąpienie.
Ms. Chair, thank you for your
Ze swojej
speech.
strony chciałbym
I would
jeszcze
like to
podziękować
say thank you
magnificencji
to
rektorowi,
the magnificent
profesorowi
director, Professor
Sławomirowi Wiakowi
Sławomir Wiak,
za
for
ten trud i całą
the
pracę, jaką
hardships.
wykonaliście w
I would like to
ubiegłym
thank the authorities of the university. Thank you for your efforts
tak naprawdę
concerning the change of the rules of operations of our universities. Thank you for developing this interdisciplinary doctoral school at the Łódź University of Technology. Thank you for the work for the purpose of science and scientific research conducted here.
Magnificencjo rektorze, uprzejmie
Magnificent
proszę
Director,
teraz
now
o
I would kindly
otwarcie
ask you to
akademickie.
open the academic year. Thank you very much, Ms. Director.
Dokonaliśmy matrykulacji studentów.
We have matriculated the students and the doctoral students. They have taken the oath, so I can announce the academic year 2020-2021
Quod bonum
open.
felix Faustum fortunatum sit.
Quod bonum Felix Faustum Fortunatum sit.
Szanowni Państwo, rok akademicki.
Ladies and gentlemen, the academic year has been opened. Please take your seats.
Uniwersytet.
The university
Studiowanie
studies
nieodzownym elementem niezwykłym.
Lecture is something which has to take place during the events such as an opening of the academic day. So the opening lecture will be delivered by Professor Jacek Moll. We've got the honor to ask him. He's the graduate of our university. He is also a well-known pediatric surgeon, and he will be telling us about technology techniques in medicines. So, Professor, the floor is yours.
Your Magnificence, Rector, the Senate, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, this is a lecture for you, first of all. I would like to thank for this opportunity to give a speech. We have known each other for years, Rector. Why have I decided to study technology? My parents were both physicians, and I must say that I lived on the territory of a hospital until the age of 14, so I was fed up with medicine and I decided to study something technical. I was interested in engines and so on, and how does it happen that there are engines that operate this way and they have to revolve and you have to build a rotational engine. We didn't have the internet in those days, so I invented a piece of engine, but then it turned out that uncle engines are actually in operation. Someone else invented it before me. But still I was interested in technology. Of course, I had to enroll at the university, and I must say that this was the best period of my life, this Łódź University of Technology. Unlike the second university, the medical university, my father, a cardiosurgeon, and my father-in-law supported me, and my wife, who has to deal with me for 40 years already and has to keep up with me even now and has to put up with me. And I graduated from one university and I was supposed to work. We had 2 kids in those days and I had to take up employment, but I still decided to study again. And I combined 2 faculties, and it has turned out that I was more interested in medicine ultimately. I wanted to be an engineer that contributes something to medicine, and it turned out that the heart is the best engine in the world, works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I became interested in this mechanism even more, and my father, heart surgeon, cardiosurgeon, had very difficult job. As I mentioned, I was living next to the hospital, and they had to invent their own equipment for circulation. Together with engineers from Poznań, they developed different inventions. So initially these were primitive pieces of equipment, but they were very useful to save people's lives. Right, so modern medicine cannot function without technology and top-notch technology in particular. We have to cooperate with the science of engineering, biology, biotechnology. We attract all types of inventions. Surgeons, physicians show what we need, and engineers and specialists try to find solutions that would be helpful for us. I didn't finish one of the sentences. The prototype of a device is only the beginning.
duże pieniądze.
then we are dealing with a lot of money. If we don't have funds, we can do nothing. And thanks to the involvement of huge companies that earn investing the money, but first they have to invest money so that these devices can be produced.
To jest sprzed kilkuset lat narzędzia chirurgiczne.
So these are surgeons' tools from hundreds years ago, and they saved human lives in the past. When you had to cut a limb to save the life of a patient after the patient was shot, or you had to use the pincets to remove arrows and so on and so forth. So medicine has always been linked to the development of technology, otherwise we wouldn't have moved forward. So these tools are a separate topic for discussion. I don't have too much time. So these are titanium-made tools used in cardiosurgery, microsurgery, and other medical disciplines. We focus on precision of certain surgeries. You can see a needle, the traumatic, so-called traumatic needle, and so on and so forth. Not everyone realizes how important technology is. I've been dealing with medicine for years now. When I was a patient, we didn't use those traditional needles. We used these anti-traumatic needles, and this scar is very safe, and there is no bleeding, and surgery is a kind of a craft. Why do I show the prosthesis? For example, in the past, we used simpler dentures and prostheses, and in the past you had to cut off the limb of a patient in certain situations, but thanks to the modern prostheses, we can be more advanced in providing care. So there are prostheses which are needed, and Tricomed and the Łódź University of Technology were specialists in this. Krzysztof Raczyński, engineer Krzysztof Raczyński, the graduate of the Łódź University of Technology, developed a new approach. They produced wonderful prostheses, but the company that purchased Tricomed destroyed everything, so we do not have Polish prostheses, we have to purchase them from abroad. Right, what else? What is part of modernity? 3D printers. As you can see here, to supplement some elements of the scalp, and cardiosurgeons, for example, you can see the cross-section of the heart. Heart is necessary to show what is the defect, how to carry out the surgery, but in the US, for example, if you have the inborn defect, heart defect, you use this printing to show to parents what is wrong. But these elements are not used for treatment, actually, just for illustration. So these pieces of equipment cost millions of złotych, 2 million złotych, one angiograph. And we have a hybrid approach, which is a very popular word, a buzzword actually, and we can help patients, and angiography can be performed. Here you can see the stent used and the contrast applied. It's a very interesting story. Forssmann, a German physician, in late 90s, via the artery, used the catheter, and he moved upwards, and using the X-ray apparatus he took a picture, and he showed that something like that was possible, but he was fired from the university. 27 years later he received a Nobel Prize, but in the past it was decided that he did something wrong, that he was a charlatan, let's say. For example, if you have atherosclerosis, you have to use USG and echocardiography. Without that, there would be no advancement in cardiac surgery. Pediatric cardiac surgery is something I specialize in, and it is indispensable to diagnose a patient, and then when you have a good diagnosis, you can treat a patient. The USG, heart USG, and thanks to engineers who develop these solutions, we can move forward. So technology and medicine are interrelated. Tomography, computer tomography. In the past, we had to use a catheter, and we used contrast introduced through the vein. But now you can see the veins, the heart structure in the 3D dimension, and of course it was all thanks to the contribution of engineers that we could develop this technology. Magnetic resonance using the magnetic field, it is very important as well. And there are 2 Nobel Prizes thanks to that. We use this type of test in diagnostics of cancer. There is a PET scan and emission tomography, which is interrelated, and it is used also outside the cardiac surgery.
I would also like to show you the robot by Leonardo da Vinci company. It's of less importance in the cardiosurgery, although the colleagues have demonstrated that they could deliver a cardiosurgery. However, this equipment will be of less significance. It's used in the urology in particular. It offers the following advantage: a very precise tool, very detailed tools are introduced into the body, and the manipulator is used, which allows to operate to a great level of detail. And the Łódź University of Technology has provided some contributions. A professor cooperated with the Foundation for the Cardiac Surgery. Professor Nawrat has invented robots like this, so you can see how such robots operate. So the movements that are made are translated from the movement of the manipulator. So it shows that the work is very precise. Of course, there are major limitations to it. It would be very difficult if the vessel gets damaged. Here the needle has been damaged, so it can cause huge problems. So in some departments, in some sections, in some disciplines, these robots didn't prove successful. Cardiosurgery is very specific, and we use such robots. Cardiosurgery started in the 1950s. Initially, the surgeries were made on children. We only had this circulation between mother or father of the child, so we could use the blood circulation of the parent. It may sound strange that the parents have survived, and the parents, and sometimes it was the only, we were saying that it was the only case when the death rate could be 200%, so both the child and the parent could die. So here you can see some extracorporeal systems. This is given equipment, so this has been used in the cardiosurgery. This is a huge piece of machinery. You need a dozen or so liters of blood to fill this machine. So you can see the difference, what this kind of equipment used to look like in 1980, which equipment was available for Polish cardiosurgeries. I also used this tool, but from the year 2000 we've been using very modern state-of-the-art apparatus. This is a photo taken in our surgery. In our operating theater, you can see the exchanger of heat. You can see it at the bottom. So this equipment is much smaller, so we can operate on children who weigh just a couple of kilograms. Infants can be operated. So you can see how this machinery has changed within the past 30 years, but it was the cooperation between physicians and engineers. Special materials had to be used. Here you can see capillaries that are used for the gas exchange, heat exchange. We have to cool the patient, then we have to warm the patient. So it requires cooperation between physicians and engineers. So doctors have to express their need and engineers have to work on this. I would like to mention some mechanical support to the heart muscle, cardiac muscle, and if the heart doesn't start working, there has to be a transplant of the heart cardiac muscle. So a lot of equipment has been manufactured, but we are having newer and newer equipment because there's no perfect equipment. We still don't have perfect equipment. Here you can see different types of pumps, axis pump, diagonal pump. In Zabrze, in the center of cardiosurgery, such equipment is used and it provides mechanical support to the heart. This is an example of a pump. This is a very interesting piece of pump that is not used very commonly. It has been developed as a result of the cooperation with the Institute of Astronomic Research. So this cooperation with the NASA allowed us to manufacture a piece of equipment like this. This is an example of an instrument to use for extracorporeal functions. So there are some instruments that are used that have to be used inside of the patient's body. So some infections may develop. So this axis pump you could see before should be installed in the chest, and the energy of battery charging is transferred through the skin. So this is artificial heart. This artificial heart has to have two chambers. So there has to be a battery to provide power. So patient is wearing this battery on the belt, and there is also a small battery inside, and the energy is transferred transdermally. So we have to avoid infections because any foreign body which is outside of the human body can cause infection. The Polish success, POLVAP, these are the pneumatic pumps that support patients who have circulatory disorders. They cannot work for a very long time. What is important is the fact that this is the Polish product, and these pumps have been used on patients. Now we have new versions of these pumps, and they include mechanical parts of the heart. They are necessary necessary for some surgery,
mechanicznym urządzeniu one nie
and
wytrzymały
in mechanical equipment they didn't these valves were not resistant enough. So these are the models dating back to the 1970s. This is a one-disc valve. Then, so first we had this one disc valve, then we had two disc valves. When I was in the United States, well, I worked there for 2 years. I was very interested in this topic, and the professor with whom I was working, he was telling me that such valves should be patented. And I said, well, I don't need the patent, especially that it was expensive, and at the time I was earning something like $25 US per month, but this professor was telling me, you have to patent this invention. So I actually have 2 patents, and they have been unused for a long time, and it was only that a demand for these Polvat types in Zabrze developed. So this valve could be used for some practical applications. So I would like to thank Professor Jóźwik. It was his initiative, the research conducted by his team. So there were some studies on how to develop the right shape of the ring. If not this work, this valve still hasn't been used. Professor Jóźwik has conducted this process together with his team, of course in cooperation with the Foundation for Development of Cardiac Surgery. Some materials have to be developed, some coating, some crystal diamond has to be used as a coating, so titanium was also used. So again, thank you, Professor, because thanks to you, this valve is being used. Here you can see a small pump. Now the Foundation for Development of Cardio Surgery is supporting the initiative to treat infants, very small babies who weigh 3 kilograms. So the proportion of the pump has to be adequate. So this great device, which is working for us throughout our lifetime, during our lifetime, we think that this lifespan is about 80 years. Well, a lot of blood is being pumped by this device, so 200,000 tons of blood is pumped throughout the lifetime of a patient, of a human being. So we want it to work as well as possible for the period of at least 80 years. The future. We do not know the future. There are things that seem to be impossible, but then we discover that they become possible. Now there is this tendency of developing algorithm of procedure. It's done in all spheres of our life. This is a great progress, but we've got this threat of dehumanization, especially in medicine. We know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a cyborg. We cannot imagine that the human being functions as a cyborg. We can replace some organs. We want to be immortal. We want to live as long as possible, but this is not possible, and luckily it will never be possible for us to be immortal. But prolonging the lifetime is the task for physicians, and we are helped by engineers to make sure that our life is as comfortable as for as long as possible. We heard about brain transplants, but we are using only body organ transplants. We cannot transplant the head. We cannot replace parts of our brains. Brain is just a perfect computer, the great computer that cannot be replaced. Some things some computers have great computational capacity, but we are unable to develop the human awareness and the brain, and we have to realize that this is impossible. The task for physicians and engineers is to make sure that the disaster happens when we are old enough, when we've had a comfortable life. And this is my wish to all of you. I wish you to have this disaster, this catastrophe in the right moment. Thank you.
Serdecznie dziękuję panu profesorowi.
Thank you very much, Professor. And thank you for your warm words addressing me and our team. We wouldn't have done anything without your ingenious idea. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank Professor for the opening lecture. And we are moving towards the end of our ceremony. We have closed the special meeting of the Senate to inaugurate the academic year 2020-2021 at the Łódź University of Technology. Usually, the music background is traditionally provided by the academic choir of the Łódź University of Technology, which for obvious reasons could not join us here today. But to follow this tradition, the choir members, under the guidance of the conductor, Mr. Mariusz Lewy, have prepared a special recording for us. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to sing together with the choir the Gaudeamus song. Gaudeamus igitur iuvestum sumus, Gaudeamus igitur iuvestum sumus, post juventutem, post forestam selectutem, nos habebit humus, nos habebit humus. Vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat membrum cognivet, vivat membrum credivet, semper sit flore, semper sit flore. We would like to thank the choir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, for your presence during today's ceremony. Those of you who watched us online, thank you for participation in this ceremony. I would like to extend my gratitude to authors of letters containing wishes of good luck for the new academic year, which are going to be presented on the screen. I would like to thank everyone who have participated in the organization of the ceremony, the promotion department, the choir, those who prepared the ceremony. Thank you very much. Color party, please depart.